on to some of the macro data. All eyes will be on the US GDP data. Along with that, India's data will also be coming in when it comes to the GDP numbers. Now, India economic growth is likely to continue to see an uptick and is seen at 6.8% in the January-March quarter. But what to expect this time around? Let's go across to Varun to find out what's the expectation for the India GDP growth. Varun.
Well, we are expecting the GDP numbers to come at around 6.8% in the Q4 of FY25. Now, if you look at the second half of FY25, it was actually better than the first half of FY25, where in the second half, you have seen good government expenditure and also the rural demand has shown some improvement. Overall, the domestic travel and services export was also good for this second half, and that's the reason we are expecting a good GDP number. In fact, if you look at some of the high frequency indicators, they have actually performed better in the second half of FY25, better than the first half of FY25. Agriculture production, that is expected to be strong, and that is actually supporting the overall rural demand. Although the urban demand has not catched up to that extent. The construction activity, that too is resilient. Also, in the month of April, if you see, the overall goods export that have seen some spike. Now, that would reflect in the Q1 FY26 numbers, but overall, if you look, the household consumption, it is likely to remain somewhat range bound, and also the difference between the GVA and GDP will be there, and that will be because of the higher net taxes. So we are expecting good GDP numbers. If you look at the RBI estimates, that was around 6.3. We are expecting it to come at around 6.8%. So let's see, after a beat on the IIP, if we get a beat on GDP numbers as well.
Okay, that's the beat that one is anticipating when it comes to the GDP figures.